So for this part of the Honda Civic series, I'm going to be doing the rear wheel bearings. Easy for me to say. Now supposedly the rear wheel bearings on these Civics are actually pretty simple. It's got a whole assembly here with the bearing in the middle. And I guess you just take the nut off, the axle nut, and this essentially comes right off. So I'm excited to give it a try. I decided to go with the TRQ rear wheel bearings. Again, I think this is a 2003. So here's the part number for that. If you're looking for that hub assembly, I try to look at the ones that aren't crazy expensive, but also not the cheapest. You know, find one in the middle that kind of meets your application. Is it a daily driver? Is it a backup car? And then buy ones that seem to get good reviews, but are also reasonably priced. Now, one thing about these rear wheel bearings that uses the center axle nut says, important installation note, failure to follow axle and spindle nut torque specs cause premature wear. And they actually even send you a little paper in here that says the Civic 2001-2005 axle nut, rear, 134 foot-pounds. I'm tongue twisted today. So there you go. Let me get this up in the air and get the wheels off, get started. Okay, so I got the wheel and tire off, and the hub feels pretty good. So the first thing you got to do is take the center cap off. Now, I've never had one of these off. I'm gonna guess, I don't know, maybe it's separate around there. And there are these, if you notice I sprayed some lube on here. There are these bolt holes, and these are usually meant for you to run a bolt in to press it out. So, but I'm gonna pop this off just to see what's going on here. I have this piece of brass that I've had for years, and I'm gonna tell you, I've used it to beat everything up with it. So, but it's really handy for little goofy things where you want to hit something, but you don't want to hurt stuff. Which I may need a bigger screwdriver. Yep, but yeah, you know, use this brass. You can whack stuff just to kind of get it loosened up, and you're not going to hurt it. So I'm going to have to get me a bigger screwdriver, and maybe look for a couple metric bolts for this. All right, so I have my big screwdriver. I suggest everybody working on their own cars get an old screwdriver that you don't really care anything about, and use it as your beat on stuff screwdriver. So you can just stick this baby in there and not really care too much about it. Give it a couple taps. You can see it starting to loosen up. Oh, there, I think we got it. There we go. Now, these axle nuts have a little dimple in them. What you do is they dimple it right there on the keyway so that this nut doesn't back itself off or do anything goofy like that. So what you want to do is you want to stick this in here and pry this up, and then that should come right off. But when you put this back in at, I think it's at 134 foot-pounds, you want to make sure you dimple that back in the exact same spot so that you don't have this nut back it off on you. So let me see if I can knock this out right now, actually. See, I don't know if this is right, or I might have to get an actual punch. Yep. Let me get a punch to do that, a metal punch. That should do it for us. All right, so run this bolt in. Don't kill it, just get it to put a little pressure on it, and give it a couple taps. Oh, looky there. That did it. And maybe take your bolt out before you take it off. There we go. So yeah, just let your bolt put a little pressure. Give it a couple taps. she should slide right off. There it is. So now while you're in here, you might want to check your pads. Check your wheel cylinders, see if anything's leaking. But I'm going to suggest you don't take any of that off unless you have to, because a lot of times they're kind of a pain in the butt. So I'm going to set this aside. Now, I think what I can actually do right now, these holes are in it just to get to the brake assembly stuff. So I'm pretty sure what I can do now is just take this nut off and this thing should come out. So I could not find exactly a flat punch, but I think this will do it. Oh, there it goes. Nice. All right, let me see what size that is. All right, it looks like it's a 32 millimeter. Fits right on there. You guys make fun of me for my Ryobi if you want, but you know, a couple years ago I bought a DeWalt, the biggest, baddest one they had, and it worked really well for a couple years, and then it just started like losing its butt. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to buy another one. So I went, I was actually gonna get a Milwaukee. And Milwaukee, when I went to look, was like, I don't know, like $400 for something. And I just thought, geez, I mean, do I use it? Yes. Is it handy? Absolutely. But I also do have air impacts and stuff. So, whoa, whoa, look at that. Came right off. Let's give her a feel. Oh. Okay, get a little crunchy. This one's not as bad. The backside feels crunchy, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up. Anyways, so while I was looking at the Milwaukee's for, like I said, I don't even remember, $400 to $450. They had this Ryobi there, and it was on sale, and I want to say it was like I don't know, $159 or I don't know, something goofy that I thought. So I thought, I'm going to try this even if it lasts a year. And I'm going to tell you, this thing has been kind of a beast. Now, we have beat it, and we have, you know, done everything with it. And we've set where stuff wouldn't come apart, just been like bam, 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 bam. And it is starting to lose a little gas. But, man, for the money, it killed. So, and like I said, for big, heavy, crazy stuff, I have air impacts. But there we go. So I got this off. I'm going to clean this up, get ready to put the new one on. All right, guys, I got this all cleaned up in here. I did hit this with a little brake cleaner. This stuff up in here. Make sure you don't use anything except for brake cleaner. You don't want to get any kind of oily stuff or anything on that. So see how this baby's gonna want to go on. Oh, a little tight, huh? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right, do a little rotate, a love tap there. There it goes. She just had to find her happy spot. Feels good. Get this baby back on there. I'll put a little lube on the threads. Now, 134 foot-pounds. Let's get out the old torque wrench here. I went ahead and cleaned it out a little bit with some brake cleaner as well. There we go. This brake's back in there. Okay. Should be good. Those babies will straighten themselves out. I'll get the wheel back on here. We should be good. Again, using my brass. There we go. You know what I did, guys? I wasn't paying attention, and I forgot to dimple that back in. Just pop that back off. I was about to put the tire on, and my brain said, hey, dummy, you didn't dimple it. I said, uh-oh. I better need that. You'd think it's come back off easier because I just put it on. But it's not. Come on, pop off. Now it turns easy. Jeez. Another reason to use the brass is if you hit your studs, you don't have to worry about it. It's not going to mess it up. Come on. There we go. Uh-oh, that guy did not dimple it back. What is he doing? Come on. There we go. Now she's dimpled. Put this baby back on. And away I go. So there we go. Got those wheel bearings changed. I'm going to say it took me, getting the car in, jacking it up, the whole deal, about an hour. Here's the old ones. Tell they've been on there for a while. Got some brake dust and all kinds of crap on them. So anyways, not too bad. Like I said, that's pretty much a DIY, job. And honestly, on these old Civics, it's probably one of the easiest ones I've ever done. So anybody would do this, I'd say just pay attention to what you're going. Don't get frustrated with it. Now let's see. Let's move on to the next part of the Civic fix, which I think is a valve cover gasket. Should be fine.